Invisible Fence brand brings you the morning sports report. Ken Laird, Tim Benz here at TribLIVE.com. The Cincinnati Bengals, the team to beat in the AFC North, Tim?
I thought it might be the Browns when we went in on Friday because they're playing the Jets, but the Jets were just way better. This is proof, I think, of how bad the Raiders still are. And we talked about it on Friday when we started doing our pick and pork segment that, Cincinnati had never won in Oakland before, and they put that to rest. But, yeah, Cincinnati in first place to start things off, and I just think it's maybe showing what you suggested, that the North was a little bit worse than what I was giving it credit for to start the year.
Got to give the Bengals credit, though. The Steelers don't win in Oakland. They wouldn't go out there and win in that fashion, at least based on precedent.
No, they go in and lay an egg and come in undermotivated and think they could waltz through. That's what they've done in the past. I think the biggest story actually coming out from the weekend from the North is that Terrell Suggs is out again with another Achilles injury. So he's done for the year, and that's a major, major loss for Baltimore in the way they run their defense. And let's face it, how much of their team is predicated on defense.
I got to say I'm impressed with Baltimore. I didn't think they would even be that close in Denver.
No, I thought it'd be close.
Okay. Well, they held Peyton to 4 field goals. So they did their job on defense, but you're right now, Suggs is missing going forward. Their offense, though, I did think was going to have problems this year, and they do have. Without Torrey Smith, Steve Smith's old. If he catches that ball in the end zone, we're talking about Baltimore showing stones to go on the road and win a game against.
In the face of injury.
Yeah, against.
That's a great play. Great defensive play by the Broncos to end up winning that game.
So I can't crush Baltimore today. I can't say they're done at 0-1 and that they're because those are two sort of elite teams that win head to head. And Denver comes out and wins at home. But you look at the Steelers. And would you say best offense, worst defense of those 3 teams?
Yes.
Bengals, Ravens, Steelers.
But I might have said that before yesterday anyway. That doesn't change my mind. I still think the Steelers have the best offense in the division. I still think they have the worst defense in the division.
And the Bengals might be the best overall team. They might have the best balance of the two.
They're the closest to the two. If you were to take each of their defenses, each of their offenses, and rank them, I'm sure they'd have the best ranking between the two. But that's just kind of an overarching view. If you put the teams on the field, I still thought they were the 3rd best team in the division. I still anticipated them to backslide. You're not taking that much away from beating Oakland on the road, are you?
I don't want to take too much from anything in week 1. But they have the 2nd best offense and the 2nd best defense in the division. And that might get them to the division title. Because if you're sitting in Cincinnati or Baltimore this morning, what are you saying about the Steelers? Their defense stinks.
Okay, but
the secondary's a mess. And you're probably right.
Did they have the 2nd best offense and the 2nd best defense last year too, or would you have said that Baltimore's offense was 2nd best?
Last year, Baltimore's offense was better.
It was better, but it wasn't better than the Bengals,
And the Bengals
right?
lost Eifert, who they got back, and now it's catching 9 balls, and they've got a 1-2 punch at running back.
Yeah, I think they beat the Raiders is what I think happened. They beat the Raiders. They won in Oakland. I'm not ready to give them the division championship yet.
I mean, Baltimore's offense stinks. It's terrible yesterday.
Has your opinion on the AFC North shifted that much in week 1? I mean, if
I still think the division's not very good.
Okay, but the division got worse yesterday, in my opinion, because Suggs is gone from the Ravens. The division didn't become tilted in favor of the Bengals just because they beat Oakland.
Because of Suggs' injury and because of the Steelers' defensive problems.
We knew the defensive problems existed anyway.
Yeah, well...
The only thing that's different today than yesterday, the only thing that's different today than at the start of training camp is that Terrell Suggs is no longer playing football.
And that the Steelers are not playing Brandon Boykin. And that they looked incredibly bad when actually put on the field with Antoine Blake and the guys that they chose to go with, Cortez Allen. I mean,
but Brandon
the Steelers could grow. They could get better as the year goes on, right? Their secondary could improve.
Theoretically, yes, I guess. In theory, that defense could get better.
But do you believe it?
No.
I don't believe it.
I mean, it was garbage last year. I mean, we're talking about Brandon Boykin has now become the latter-day Mel Blount because he didn't play against the Patriots, and he must be the answer. He's the talking point right now, but he's like a 2nd or 3rd cornerback. Okay, that's it. He's not going to shift the entire defense.
I mean, they're not going to be able to cover Tyler Eifert when they play the Bengals.
No,
A.J. Green, they're not going to be able to cover when they play the Bengals. It's watching week 1, it did switch for me. I think Cincinnati's now the team to beat. I mean, I know it's only the Raiders, but you go out there and win like that, based on 1 week, Suggs going down, we saw the Steelers, we've seen the Bengals, Cincy team to beat.
Okay, I have no idea why the win over the Raiders is changing your opinion that much.
It's a road win. It's a convincing road win. Eifert shows up. Geno Atkins shows up. Total team effort.
If your opinion should be shifting, it should be shifting because the Raiders are much worse. You shouldn't be shifting your opinion that the Bengals are that much better because they beat friggin' Oakland.
Do you think Oakland can come in here and beat the Steelers at Heinz Field in week 8 or 9 or whatever that is? I do. Because they lose to them every year.
Okay, well, but they tend to lose to them on the road more than they do here. They had that awful game in 2009 here. Yes, I remember that. The Lewis Murphy game, the Gradkowski game. We all remember that game, but I think they will be. I'm comfortable that the Steelers will beat the Raiders this year at home.
Free in-home consultation, invisiblefence.com. Check it out. Morning Sports Report.